It's my first time going live on YouTube. We'll see how this turns out. So, I'm Jordana, and I've had my channel on YouTube for quite a while. I used to just do these videos on Pandora bracelets because that's what I was specializing in at the time, and that was quite a while ago. And now I am a cannabis medicated mommy. So I have two beautiful canna babies, and I support the cause and I support being medicated by cannabis. I think that it's hugely helpful. It's helped me and my life so much, so much, so much, so much. So right now I'm medicating with some Blue God and a little bit of shatter that I snaked and laid on top of the weed. And I rolled a king size joint. I always do. I always smoke king size joints. And because they last me like quite a while, I don't smoke them all in one shot. I like to put my weed, like it goes out and then I go and come back and smoke again. So, for the times, that you need to de-stress quickly, very quickly, like when your 2-year-old keeps repeating, "Mommy, mommy, 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 mommy," or "Barney, Barney, Barney," or "Fishies, fishies." Anyways. And then I have a 7-month-old and she screams her head off because her toy fell, or I'm not looking at her, I'm not talking to her. She's a little bit of a princess, a little bit, but that's okay. We love her. So I have been suffering from postpartum depression since I had my son, and my son is 2. He just turned 2 months ago. And I've been suffering from postpartum depression pretty severely, and cannabis has helped me cope in so many ways. It's helped me become a much calmer, much better person. I know, lady, mama, it's crazy having, oh my God, having 2 kids at least. Okay, so you need to tell me then. I've been hearing lately that at 5 and 7, it's like an easier phase. I don't know if that's entirely accurate. I'm really hoping it is. And just so everybody knows, I am smoking very far away from my babies. They're 2 floors up, and we are in my basement where we have an air purifier and window and great circulation down here. And so that's really good to know that. But then you have that. Look at me. Yeah, I can't even. Oh my goodness. So I have a girlfriend who has a 5-year-old daughter and I think a 9-year-old son, but his birthday's coming up soon, so I think he's going to be 10. I'm not sure. And the attitude and the conversations that they have is just amazing. It's just so incredible. I'm very scared. I'm very, very scared. My son was a super, super, super chill baby. We could go shopping. We could, yeah. He was a super chill kid. He was a super chill baby. Um, and he was a great sleeper. He started sleeping through the night at 5 months. So I tried so hard. I tried so hard. Maybe I didn't try hard enough, but I tried not to have expectations when it comes to anything, in comparing my 2 children to each other. My daughter's 7 months old. She still does not sleep. Let alone sleep through the night. This kid's still like drinking like bottles every 2 hours. Um, I'm going to start sleep training her though this week. So hopefully that's going to have an impact on our life, because I feel like I'm living in total chaos right now, and it's just not working for my postpartum depression. It's not working for my overall wellness, my overall well-being. It's just not. I don't want to cry on YouTube. It's definitely easier being live than doing all the recordings that I've been doing and then posting videos. It's so hard to sit and talk about postpartum depression and then have to like rewatch it, and yeah. It's postpartum depression is just, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's not easy. It's not easy. It doesn't matter how many kids you have. It doesn't matter. Oh, it just doesn't matter. Just even if you have depression, just living with that. It's just so hard. It's just so hard. I just don't know how mothers do it, not being. Yeah, so let's say, okay, so like for me, for instance, I'll talk about myself. I'm sorry, I'm not okay. It's not that I'm like sorry to hear about your diagnosis, but I've suffered from anxiety and depression since about 11 years of age, and I was induced with both my children and had prenatal anxiety and depression with both my children, had postpartum depression with my son, got pregnant with my daughter while I was still suffering. So throughout my daughter's pregnancy, there's a whole video on that, but like throughout my daughter's pregnancy, I was severely depressed and anxious as well. And now she's 7 months old, and I'm still dealing very much with postpartum depression. And my psychiatrist told me that because of my family history, my father's bipolar. His sister was, well, at the time they called it manic. He was manic depressed. She had manic depression. Um, so my family illness and my history, on top of being induced, I didn't know this, but being induced increases your chances of postpartum depression. I definitely feel like my OB told me that, and I was just like in so much pain from my pregnancies that I didn't care what risk or chances it was. I just didn't. I was so just in so much pain with my son, that I got induced at 38 weeks, 6 days, and yeah, and the postpartum depression just hasn't. And then I got induced again with my daughter, because again it was a bedridden pregnancy. And honestly though, in retrospect, like looking back, I feel like I could have toughed it out a little longer with her. And the fact that the fact that I got induced with her is something that I kind of regret, but I've never said that before. Funny how that just came out. Um, yeah, postpartum depression is the absolute worst. And so my psychiatrist told me that the chances of me getting bipolar disorder are even higher because of everything I just explained. So mental illness is a real bitch to live with, and it's hard as a daughter to watch your parent suffer. And so I don't know what it's going to be like. Yeah, no, it's not a terrible diagnosis, and it's totally treatable. Absolutely. It's definitely not a death sentence, and I don't mean it like that at all. It's just that my father's been so sick for so long, but he's also in his 70s, his early 70s, and I think just his whole overall health is just deteriorating. And so seeing him be bipolar and deteriorate in general is just, that's been freaking me out. And so it's not anything personal, and I don't mean to offend anybody who's bipolar. I have my own personal issues with that right now. And so because of what my dad's been going through and what we've been living with for the past 4 years, it's been scary. It's been shitty, it's been hard, it's been scary. So I'm dealing with my illness, I'm dealing with my dad's illness, I'm dealing with, you know, my children, taking care of my kids and making sure that they grow up in a healthy, safe home, in a healthy, safe, loving, supportive home. You know, we try to be open-minded and educated as possible when it comes to an array of things, an array of things like wellness, like disabilities, gender issues, and everything and anything that could happen. I mean, you can't prepare for everything, of course not, but just we try to just, you know, stay on top of it and just be as educated in a positive way as possible as parents, because we're shaping the future for them, right? Like, we are the ones, it's us and teachers. It's the parents and your daycare educators and your teachers that spend the most time with your children. And those are the people that are really shaping the minds of your child and influencing them and encouraging them or discouraging them and all those things. So, you know, we have to be careful, and we have to be educated. That's the most that we can do, and that's the most that we can ask for. So that's pretty much it. Just trying to survive postpartum depression, just trying to not let it get the best of me, and trying to stay healthy and medicated as naturally and healthy as possible. So anyone who is suffering, I really do feel for you. I'm really sorry. Truly feel for you, and truly sorry from the bottom of my heart if you are going through any postpartum depression issues. I hear my son crying, so I really do have to go. I don't even know how to stop this.